Day 30 of 365 days of meditation. Today's experience was interesting, challenging, and a great exercise. I was doing a guided meditation as part of the online course I'm doing right now, the Joe Dispenza course. I hit a module that was a meditation, so I decided I would do the meditative practice today, as I had about an hour to meditate, a little over an hour. And the meditation itself was about 50 minutes, I think. So it was perfect to do a guided meditation because it would bring me out of it at the right time, essentially, because I had a time restraint today. Meditation went well. Joe guided me through the sort of dropping into the meditation through a body scan, and then you just sit there and enjoy the relaxing, peaceful music that plays, and then at the end he sort of brings you out. And right towards the end of the meditation, just before he starts to bring you out, maybe 5 minutes left in the meditation or so, my alarm went off on my phone and just jarred me right out of the practice. And I always try to put my phone on Do Not Disturb, make sure I don't have any alarms set, and today I just forgot. And so I was jarred out of the practice and turned my phone off. I noticed, as I turned the alarm off rather, and I noticed when I went to press play on the meditation again, because it had paused, that there was about 5 minutes left, and I was sort of jacked up as a result of being jarred out of this relaxed state. And got back into the meditation, tried to relax into it. I was feeling a little amped, and then all of a sudden I noticed, boom, negative thought creep in. I just chastised myself like, you effed up, you idiot, you forgot to turn the alarm off, and you just you've ruined this experience. And I was just, and then all of a sudden the emotions that followed those negative thoughts just kind of cascaded it, and my whole body just kind of tensed up, and I felt my chest and my throat, everything just kind of crunch, my shoulders lean forward. It's a physical response, in addition to the emotional response that was occurring as a result of those negative thoughts that I had, which were not at all helpful. And I tried to calm myself down and just, take the Kyle Seats approach, make space for the emotions. All the emotions are valid. Just experience them, try to put some distance between myself and the emotional state and the thoughts, and just observe what was going on objectively. Allow my awareness to sort of be the observer of, this physical being that I am, and the thoughts and emotions that I was experiencing. And that was challenging for sure, 100%. And then I felt another surge of emotion. The emotion was coming back again, and then boom, right behind that, this rigidity and this thought that was very sort of perfectionist in its essence. And I've experienced those sort of thoughts before in the past, and they've never helped me in my mental state. They're very detrimental to it. And I sort of attacked the whole experience, like, what a effing waste of time. This was so pointless. It ruined the whole thing. This shouldn't even have bothered, because, I did 45 minutes of meditation, and then I got interrupted and did I ended up doing about 10 more after that. And so that doesn't make any sense, just because this experience that I had in this moment was unpleasant. It doesn't detract from all the good that happened before that, and it doesn't have any bearing on the experience that comes after that, whether it's good or bad. Of course, in the moment, I was really trying hard to remind myself that, and to some level of success, when that second thought came up about just everything was a waste of time and it was all pointless, I felt this more tension in the body, and this just rage just coming up, just right from the core all the way up, just rage, and my whole body kind of tense, and I just I felt this physical desire to just scream at the top of my lungs, just lose it. And it was intense and sort of surprising, but also I was just trying to objectively view the thoughts and the emotions that were occurring and not engage with them. when I had gone through therapy when I was in this clinical trial for obsessive compulsive disorder a while back, one of the things the therapist told me was, thoughts are just thoughts. And when you have a thought, if it's not helpful, don't engage with that thought, because it'll just lead to more of the same thoughts. So think of it like a leaf on the water and just observe the leaf floating by. Because if you engage with it, it's like you're jumping into the water and just getting covered, you're soaked and getting covered in all these leaves stuck to you. So it was interesting to try and do that. It was very challenging, I'm not going to lie. But at the with some time now that has passed, I meditated this morning, and now it's the end of the day, 6 o'clock, and several hours have passed in between, and I can look back at it and say, it was a great learning experience. It was a great practice in self-regulation, and I'm actually grateful that I got to sort of experience that state and being able to observe the little bit of an experiential trigger in the alarm, then the emotion that followed it, and then the thoughts that followed that, which set off a greater emotional cascade. And I was able to sort of watch this unfold somewhat objectively, and it was a really interesting experience. And again, I'm grateful for it now. I'd be lying if I said in the moment that I was grateful for it. It was challenging. In the moment, I much more preferred the alarm not to have gone off and just enjoyed the end of my peaceful meditation. But I think now in retrospect, it was probably a great learning experience. So yeah, it was pretty neat to go through that. So yeah, that was today's practice. I did manage to calm myself back down for the last few minutes of meditation. I was brought out, and then I just kind of stayed for a little bit longer because I felt like I needed it. And another 10 minutes or so, I wrapped up my meditation the way I usually do, with sort of positive affirmations and then a sort of gratitude practice of sorts, and then come out of the meditation. And I'd be lying to say that I came out as peaceful and relaxed as I normally would from meditation, but that full of joy and love and gratitude. But I think I got to a pretty good state when I had come out, given the circumstances that had unfolded about 10 minutes prior. So it was pretty cool to be able to exercise some self-regulation and put into practice really one of the reasons I meditate, which is to be able to regulate, observe my own emotions, not react to things in my environment, and then go into unhelpful thoughts and resulting emotional states that just lead into a death spiral, which ultimately leads to a state of anxiety or depression for me. So it was cool to be able to sort of go into a practice ground unexpectedly during meditation and put into practice some of the things that I'm essentially trying to cultivate within myself with my meditative practice. So yeah, that was today's experience. Pretty cool. And in closing, if you are struggling with your mental health at all, talk to someone. If you're ruminating excessively, worrying excessively, unable to cope with your mental and emotional state, if you just feel overwhelmed, like the world's just crushing down on you and you don't know where to go, what to do, where to turn, if your thoughts or emotional state is distressing, reach out to somebody. For myself personally, the best thing I ever did was go out and just tell somebody what I was doing, and it was the start of a greater understanding of what I was experiencing at the time in terms of obsessive compulsive disorder, anxiety, depression, and what I was able to learn about what I was experiencing allowed me to then learn some things that seemed to help with the condition and allow me to practice those things, meditation being one of them, to essentially help myself get to a better place in my life. And ultimately, why am I doing this? I mean, my mental state that I'm in, if I'm in a good mental state, ultimately my experience of my existence, my life, is way, way, way more enjoyable. So that's why mental health is important. Ultimately, it is the sort of filter by which you experience your life and the world around you. So if you are struggling, talk to somebody, talk to somebody, talk to somebody, friends, family, coworkers, colleagues, maybe a friend's parent if you're a younger individual, aunt, uncle, grandparent, teacher, coach, mental health professional if you have access to one. Get the help you need. Get started on a path towards better mental health, and take care of yourself. Thanks for watching this video. Have a great day.